Constantine XI Palaiologos. The name echoes through the ages, a symbol of a bygone era. He was the last Byzantine emperor, a man born into an empire teetering on the brink of collapse, surrounded by enemies on all sides. He bore the weight of 1,000 years of history on his shoulders, and he faced his destiny with unwavering courage and determination. Constantine's reign was a story of struggle and defiance, a tale of a leader who refused to surrender. The Byzantine Empire, once a beacon of light and civilization, was now a shadow of its former glory, crumbling under the weight of time and war. Yet Constantine refused to yield to despair. He stood firm, rallying his people with a sense of hope and resilience. He fought tirelessly to protect his people and his heritage, leading his troops with valor and strategic brilliance. He embodied the spirit of Rome, even as the world around him crumbled and the empire faced its darkest hours. Constantine's story is not just about the fall of an empire. It is a testament to the enduring human spirit. It is about the strength of one man facing insurmountable odds, standing tall against the tide of history. He stood as a bulwark against the tide of conquest, and his name resonates with tragedy and heroism in equal measure, a legacy that endures through the ages. Born into the purple, Constantine was no stranger to the intricacies of power. From a young age, he was immersed in the opulence and the complex political landscape of the Byzantine court. He was a descendant of the Palaiologos dynasty, a lineage steeped in the grandeur of Byzantium. This illustrious family had a long history of producing emperors and leaders who shaped the course of the empire. But his early life was marked by political turmoil. The Byzantine Empire was a shadow of its former self, and internal strife was rampant. The empire was shrinking, beset by enemies on all sides. The once mighty Byzantine Empire was now fighting for its very survival, losing territories to both old and new foes. Constantine's youth was spent navigating the treacherous waters of Byzantine politics. He quickly learned that survival required not just bravery, but also cunning and strategic thinking. He learned the art of diplomacy and war. These skills were not just academic, they were essential for anyone who hoped to lead in such turbulent times. He witnessed the desperation of a fading empire clinging to survival. The sight of his people suffering left a lasting impression on him. These experiences forged within him a steely resolve. He was determined to do whatever it took to restore the empire to its former glory. He would become a ruler tempered by adversity. The challenges he faced only made him stronger and more resolute. His brother, John VIII, ascended to the throne before him. John's reign was fraught with its own set of challenges, and Constantine was always there to support him. Constantine served as a loyal and capable deputy. He was not just a figurehead, he played a crucial role in the administration and defense of the empire. He governed provinces, defended borders, and always put the empire first. His leadership in the provinces was marked by fairness and a strong sense of duty. These years were a crucial training ground for the future emperor. Every decision, every battle, and every diplomatic mission was a lesson in leadership. He witnessed firsthand the challenges facing Byzantium and honed the skills he would need to confront them. His experiences prepared him for the monumental task of leading an empire on the brink of collapse. By the 15th century, the Byzantine Empire was a shadow of its former glory. Once a beacon of civilization and power, it had now dwindled to a mere fraction of its past grandeur. The empire that had once stretched across vast territories was now confined to a few scattered regions, struggling to maintain its identity and sovereignty. Gone were the days of Justinian's vast domains. The golden age of Byzantine expansion and cultural flourishing was a distant memory, replaced by a period of decline and fragmentation. The once mighty empire had been reduced to a few scattered territories. These remnants were a stark contrast to the sprawling lands that had once been under Byzantine control, now lost to invaders and internal strife. Constantinople, the queen of cities, remained, but it was an isolated outpost surrounded by enemies. The empire was exhausted, its resources depleted, and its people weary from centuries of conflict. Centuries of warfare and internal strife had taken their toll. The treasury was depleted, and the once formidable Byzantine army was now a shadow of its former self. The army was a fraction of its former size. Once a powerful force that could defend the empire's vast borders, It was now struggling to protect even the heart of Byzantium, and the once vibrant cultural life of Byzantium was fading. The rich traditions, art and scholarship that had defined the empire were now in decline, overshadowed by the constant threat of invasion. Yet, amidst this decline, the spirit of the Roman Empire flickered. The Byzantines held on to their heritage with a fierce determination, refusing to let their legacy be extinguished. The Byzantines clung to their heritage. They saw themselves as the true inheritors of Rome, carrying forward the traditions and values of an ancient civilization. They saw themselves as the inheritors of Rome. This belief gave them a sense of purpose and identity, even as their world crumbled around them. The rise of the Ottoman Turks presented the most formidable threat. This new power was ambitious and relentless, seeking to expand its dominion at the expense of the Byzantine Empire. A powerful and ambitious force, they were determined to conquer Constantinople. The Ottomans saw the city as the key to their dominance in the region, a prize that would solidify their power. They saw it as the key to their dominance in the region. The strategic location of Constantinople made it a coveted prize, and the Ottomans were prepared to go to great lengths to capture it. The Ottomans, under their ambitious Sultan Mehmed II, were a relentless enemy. Mehmed's vision of a vast Ottoman Empire drove his determination to conquer Constantinople. They had already swallowed vast swathes of Byzantine territory, and their eyes were now firmly set on Constantinople. The fall of the city seemed inevitable as the once great Byzantine Empire faced its final days. And Mehmed II, known as the Conqueror, was determined to make Constantinople his own. He understood its strategic importance, he coveted its wealth and symbolic power. From a young age, he had been obsessed with capturing the city, and now, as Sultan, he had the means to achieve his ambition. Mehmed assembled a vast army equipped with the latest technology. Cannons, siege towers, and a formidable navy were all brought to bear. He was determined to leave no stone unturned in his quest for victory. He would succeed where others had failed. Across the waters, Constantine knew what was coming. He understood the gravity of the threat. He rallied his people, appealing to their courage and faith. He strengthened the city's defenses, repairing walls and gathering supplies, but he was acutely aware that he was fighting against the tide. He needed a miracle. The siege began in April 1453. It was an epic clash of civilizations, a defining moment in history. The Ottomans unleashed a furious bombardment upon the city walls. Their cannons roared, shaking the very foundations of Constantinople. Inside the city, the defenders held their ground. They fought with the courage and tenacity that had defined their ancestors. They repelled assaults, repaired breaches, and kept the Ottomans at bay. But they were outnumbered and outgunned. Constantine was an inspirational leader throughout the siege. He moved among his men, offering words of encouragement and sharing in their dangers. He personally supervised the defense, working tirelessly to bolster morale. He ate with his soldiers, he prayed with them, he showed them that their emperor stood with them. The siege dragged on. Weeks turned into months. The defenders grew weary, their resources dwindling. But still they fought on, inspired by their emperor's unwavering determination. Constantine knew that the fate of an empire rested on his shoulders. He refused offers of surrender. He knew that Mehmed would show no mercy. He was determined to fight to the death. He would rather die a free emperor than live as a conquered subject. His courage never wavered, even in the darkest hours. As the final assault approached, Constantine gathered his men. He knew that defeat was inevitable, but he urged them to fight with honor, to defend their faith and their city to the last breath. He removed his imperial regalia and, drawing his sword, prepared to meet his fate. On May 29th, 1453, the Ottomans launched their final assault. They surged through a breach in the walls, overwhelming the exhausted defenders. Constantine, seeing his city falling, charged into the fray. He fought with the fury of a man possessed, determined to sell his life dearly. The battle raged through the streets. The air was thick with the sounds of clashing steel, screams of the dying, and the rumble of collapsing buildings. Constantine, last seen fighting near the Kirkeporter Gate, disappeared into the melee. his fate remains a mystery. The fall of Constantinople sent shockwaves across Europe. It marked the end of the Byzantine Empire. A civilization that had endured for over 1,000 years was extinguished. It was a turning point in history, signaling the rise of Ottoman power and the dawn of a new era. In the aftermath of the fall, legends arose around Constantine's final moments. Some said he fell in battle, slain by an unknown soldier. Others claimed he met a more gruesome end. But a persistent rumor claimed that an angel spirited him away to safety, transforming him into marble. He would remain entombed, they said, until the day Constantinople was retaken. Constantine became a legend, a symbol of courage and sacrifice. He was the marble emperor, frozen in time, awaiting his return. His name became a rallying cry for those who yearned for the restoration of the Byzantine Empire. Though he failed to save his empire, Constantine's legacy lived on. He became a martyr for the Orthodox Christian faith, his name forever linked to the defense of Constantinople. He represented the best of Byzantium, its courage, its faith, and its enduring spirit. Constantine XI Palaiologos was the last Roman emperor. He was a man born into an impossible situation, facing overwhelming odds with dignity and courage. He could not hold back the tide of history, but he chose to meet his fate head-on, defending his city and his people to the very end. His story is a poignant reminder of the impermanence of empires. It illustrates the bravery of those who fight for a lost cause. It is a tale of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring power of hope. As we look back on the life of Constantine VII, we are left to ponder. Was he a failure, unable to prevent the fall of a once great empire, or was he a hero who faced impossible choices with courage and dignity? The answer, perhaps, lies somewhere in between.